The duo behind the wildly popular TikTok series Snack or Yak sat down with me in Chicago over the weekend to talk about their DJ career, amassing 20 million followers on social media, and the one thing they credit all of their success to. This is one you don't want to miss.
We're live from World Headquarters here in Old Town at 1610 North Wells Street at the corner of Wells and North Avenue, attached to the famed Second City, right down the street from Zanies. Full Italian-American menu, obviously anchored by 5 different styles of pizza. We've got pasta collabs from Gemma Foods, full bar menu, and it's just a great place to come with friends and family. We hope to dine with you soon. Thanks.
Dude, you just did my sponsorship read for me. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. When I first met X and Ivy, my guest on today's episode, it was at EDC. I was doing interviews. They had just played an amazing set, so they were feeling themselves. But they also got their camera bag stolen. Nonetheless, they were so happy to be there. They came off as so easygoing, so chill. And I was like, wow, if this were me in that situation, I would probably be throwing shit across the room. Let me tell you, people like X and Ivy, these are the people you don't ever want to underestimate, because their level of success only comes from people who have their shit together. In this conversation, you're going to hear about how they kind of took a side quest to doing social media content when the pandemic shut down all music opportunities for them. And because of that, what doors have opened for them. If you have any sort of pretenses on artists with their level of social media following, this interview is going to myth bust all of them. So pay attention. Oh, and special thanks to Professor Pizza, my dear friend, who let us last minute use his incredible pizzeria located in Old Town to shoot this interview. I couldn't think of a more perfect place. I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. Guys, it's so good to see you in Chicago. I didn't think this was going to happen. Like, we could make this happen, so thank you.
I'm stoked we were too. Thanks for reaching out. It's been almost 2 years since the last one.
And you know what? You guys were my first interview at EDC.
There we go.
It was crazy. Like, you really helped me break the ice. I was a little nervous.
That was such a fun interview too.
It was. I actually don't even remember it because I just feel like it was like a blur.
Well, I don't remember it because we were getting belligerently drunk also. They were feeding us tequila shots.
You lost something. A camera bag.
We lost our full camera.
Yeah, we lost our DLSR camera.
Did you get your phone stolen too?
No, that was Josh got his phone stolen.
Buddy got his phone stolen. We got everything stolen that trip.
But you were still smiling. Like you were you were having a great time.
Well, lucky. I don't think it set in until the next day of the reality. And we're very big of not looking into the rear view. So after it happened, got to make the most of it. We're out in Orlando.
Right, like you can't let it ruin the very few moments that you have.
Exactly.
To enjoy it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just played EDC. We were like, okay.
We're on
But
I think a few weeks later, I was like, oh fuck, that was a very expensive piece.
Yeah, it was.
And I think there was still hope that I was like, who's going to show up in Lost and Fan? Like, we lost it in the artist area,
right.
And it just never did. So,
which apparently is an ongoing thing. Like, so many people I've talked to, they're like, I've gotten stuff stolen out of Artist Lounge. This past EDC, sunglasses right off the interview table. Like, I just left them there to go grab a water and come back on.
That's crazy.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's got to be like a guest list sort of thing.
100%.
Could you imagine
100%.
if you saw the DJ after you wearing your sunglasses and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Marty Eriks is like a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
You got DLSR. I just want the footage from that camera. If you guys stole it, just send us the footage.
Right, because you shot, and you lost it. Fuck, that's crazy. Well, I mean, content and X and Ivy is pretty synonymous. Like you have enough content to go around. So for like the 3 people living under a rock who don't know your story and don't know what you do on social media, let's like establish that, because obviously music was your first passion, but you kind of fell into this content thing because of COVID circumstances, whatever. Tell me a little bit about that story.
I mean, so the whole X and Ivy thing, so we'd always thought, we never wanted to be one-dimensional as like, we're just DJs, we're stoic, we don't talk. Because there's some like massive DJs, you don't even know what their voice sounds like. And so that was never something we wanted to go for. And so we always wanted to show our personality and have fun with it. Like, we used to make videos as kids, so it was always that. But it was more that it was going to be a way to help promote the music. But then, COVID happened, there's no really way to like perform, especially in California, like it was really shut down for a long time. And so we just started making content as a way to sort of promote like the music on streaming services, not even like, hey, promote our gigs.
Yeah.
And then from that, we just built a massive following, and we both had jobs at the time. And so we're like, okay, let's pursue this content, down the road, like down, let's see where this content leads, just to sort of get out of the jobs we had and sort of, then focus on the music full time. Yep. Ended up becoming a detour, and then sort of like a year into the content, we were like, okay, what do we really care about, the music? And it's unless we make this a forefront and like sort of do a rebrand and like redirect everything, because a lot of people think you get followers and you can put them in any direction you want, like...
It's so hard.
It does not convert whatsoever.
It's so hard. I experienced that myself because before, my Instagram account is from when I was a TV reporter. So I had all these people in small town Iowa following me for updates about the cows on the farm. Yeah. And to switch gears is like the biggest lift. It's a huge pain in the ass. So I know that you guys, you have multiple channels, pages, because you're doing different things and you have to speak to the different audiences, people who know you from music, people who might not know, and they're just followed you from, Factor Cap.
Yes.
Right.
So how are you doing it? Tell us.
It's really like you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And you just be consistent, because in the beginning it's definitely disheartening because the views, obviously, they're expecting one thing, they get another thing, so it doesn't really hit the algorithm or like, I guess, spark interest. So, but it's really like you're building a new fan base. So it's like you should keep the consistency going.
Right.
Yeah, and just releasing a ton of music. That's sort of been like, we'd hope that, the followers would, you got all these followers, let's convert them into something. But like this growth and success we've seen as X and Ivy has honestly been by doing like the old school sort of like playing, shows, in LA and sort of building a fan base there. Making edits and making remixes and originals and sending them out to DJs and then playing it out and then, posting those clips. Like, it hasn't been like, hey, we have 20 million followers, by the way, we make music, and then like a ton of people are like, I want to check that out, Because I think a big misconception is people are going to hear this and they're going to be like, yeah, but if you just converted 0.1%, you're going to, and like, no, it converts 0%.
It's
like,
zero.
We had to start all over.
We could not sell tickets.
No,
based off your TikTok
we were like,
following.
okay, we need to start something completely separate that's just music, so we actually know what the music fan base
100%,
is,
like
what we can sell.
As a party shirt, I remember this one gig we had, this was fucking 2022, and it was literally like just our friends, that came, and it's like, people would be like, 20 million followers. No, at least a couple hundred people are going to come. Like,
wow.
Everyone does that math in their head of, well, if you converted 0.0001%,
right.
And it really is like, it'd be like if the fucking dude who does, is The Price is Right was like, hey, I want to fucking start a rock band. You'd be like, yeah, I love you on The Price is Right.
Right,
but why the fuck? How does that,
That's such a good, I think people really need to hear that, because I'm sure you've gotten the criticism before that, like, oh, you guys are just going to leverage your following to like get gigs. And here you're saying the first gig we did had only our friends.
Trust
like no
me,
one else showed up.
If we could leverage it and do it, we'd be doing it.
Of course.
And we're like huge lovers of just like the history of like house and techno, and we love the underground scene. So we're like, okay, let's like just start something where we do it the right way, how every legend, built themselves up. Yeah,
that's great. And you're still maintaining all that other stuff at the same time. So you're busy.
We've been slowly stepping back from sort of the party shirt other stuff. But you know, we got Zach here, and we've been making some more higher quality because we going back to what I said at the start of we always like. Even our managers now are like, oh, you should just stop making the other content and just do the music. And it's like, we never want to be one-dimensional as art. You know, like we love food, we love fucking you know, testing stuff.
Just
like,
lifestyle, you know? We love it all. And we love to just like have fun and be silly and just, you know,
and eventually, like you can, so like one of my people that I look up to, I don't know her personally, Bethany Frankel.
Yes.
She's a little cuckoo, but she's this lady who's had.
No, my mom loves her.
Does she? Does she?
Her.
Oh my God, I love that. So she's like done all these different things. She has Skinny Girl Vodka. You know, she had like a scarf company. All these different business ventures are under the umbrella of people loving her and her personality. And that's like what you guys are going for. You know, but it takes time to connect the dots.
Exactly,
It does.
It's a lot of work.
It does. And getting someone just to watch a video versus make an action, whether that's purchase a ticket, come to a show, stream a song, like it's very easy to get someone to watch a video, but when you sort of ask for something off platform, it's like a totally different thing.
So because our attention is constantly being competed for,
Yeah.
and you guys knew that when you were making like your Factor Cap or Snacker Yak. I mean, you like it captures attention immediately, and so that's I mean, you got to play that game.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
No, and then, you know, on top of that, it's like house music too, especially like we sort of make more like European influenced house music.
Yeah.
There's a small audience for that already. So it's like when you're trying to convert people, like, you know, it'd be one thing if we were like a pop group too, and it's like, hey, we got this poppy song. We might be able to convert a bit more of that Factual Cap audience, but when we're like, hey, by the way, we make this sort of niche house and techno.
They don't even know.
They're like, what is this fucking noise? This garbage?
They just lump it all in with like, oh, marshmallow at you know, this pool party in Las Vegas. They assume it's like
100%,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's just like any genre. Like I'm sure, like in rock, you know, there's all these different subgroups of it, and to me, you know, rock's rock, and it's like, but like the heads would be like, no, there's like this,
for sure. Yeah, it's true. But I think trying to get respect for dance music from others is difficult because people don't understand what production, how much work goes into production, and DJing. It's an art form. You got people coming up asking requests still at freaking house clubs, you know, so they don't necessarily, there's more learning involved.
There is.
Yeah, but so obviously you guys are making great strides. You're here in Chicago, which is amazing. You did Taste of Randolph. So was that your first time in Chicago?
No, we do Chicago.
Well, it's X and Ivy.
Yeah, it's X and Ivy.
Okay,
we have
was it North Coast? Where were you as party shirt?
Where was a lot? We played.
Oh man, we've done really Prism. We've done.
Okay.
We've done. Used to be Paris.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we did the festival during the day last year. Which one was that?
Oh, that was the Corona Electric Beach.
Oh yeah.
Corona.
Yeah. So now this is your first as X and I, like your rebrand.
Yeah. So it's been awesome. But Chicago is so special to us. Obviously, you know, the birthplace of house music, but. Me and Ivy, we got booked for our first out-of-town gig in Chicago back in 2018.
This is before any TikTok, dude. Wow. This is when we were just solely music. And for everybody who doesn't know, we were just doing music, you know, and, you know, not the whole TikTok Factor Cap stuff before.
That just was a totally COVID thing, right?
Yeah. So we came out here 2018, and like Ivy was living down at home in OC. I was at USC, still in school, and like he'd come up and we'd, you know, play... you know, some shows here and there in LA and, you know, work on music. But it was more of like a side thing. But after the Chicago trip, we had such a great time. We're like, okay, how do we do this for the rest of our lives?
I love that.
And that's what, when Party Shirt, X and I, like when we really were like, okay, let's do this seriously. Because, you know, you can do like stuff with your friends and it's like sort of a fun thing that you guys do when you have time. And then there's like, all right, how do we make this our career? And that was sort of the turning point. So I always love Chicago. And it's always just the best time. Our manager's from Chicago. One of our managers, Mike, lived here for like 6 years. So he's really, you know, just when you go to a city and you're with someone who like knows people and sort of.
We got a bunch of friends out here. It's like, it's just great to
I love Chicago.
Always,
I love to hear that. Yeah, it really is, especially in the summer. Like it's a really special experience. You know, you feel all the things you're talking about, like it being such a legendary place. Like you feel that when you play the crowds here.
And it's such a beautiful city. I love just like walking around and looking at the buildings because you get like the perfect balance of like futuristic looking skyscrapers and then like old rustic Victorian looking buildings, you know, it's like so cool.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful. Like,
we care about preserving that.
Yeah.
It's just and relatively clean. I don't know if
it's clean. Yeah.
I know. No, it is a great time. Like obviously, the winters are brutal, but that weeds out the casuals. Like if you can't live here in the winter, tough shit.
So the first time we came out was winter time, and it was like that one winter when it reached like -50.
It was like breaking records.
The polar vortex,
Me and X literally only brought a sweatshirt and a t-shirt.
God.
First night we're like, dude, like we need to go get gloves, like all this stuff.
That's
we were freezing. Like
we were here for 2 nights or 3 nights.
I think we were here for 2 nights.
Yeah, but that was like that's when I experienced real cold.
And it was so windy too.
Because you grew up in California and you grew up in Australia, and that doesn't happen in either of those places.
Not when you got wind chill like that.
We were like, oh, this is why it's a windy city.
It's crazy.
But then yesterday was the nicest day I've experienced all year. We're on the roof, and like this is better weather than LA.
I know. Great. It really is special here in the summer. We all wait for it. That's why everyone like goes nuts for these couple months.
And just ride around, like so fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, in addition to like doing all of these gigs, I know you guys also have a cookbook out, which is crazy. So do you both have an entrepreneurship background? Because I know you went to business school, right?
Business school, but Ivy's a real entrepreneur. You don't go to business school if you're a true entrepreneur, you know?
That's true. Yep.
So, we'd always just been like doing like, side businesses and stuff. But the cookbook is obviously, Snackle Yak blew up, right? And we went to our agents and we're like, hey, we want to put this together in a cookbook and something we can really hold and touch and like, something physical, because especially in the digital thing, you can get all this validation of million, billion views, whatever, but it's, what's that, mean? It's just, binary 0 1s on a screen. It's like when you, press a vinyl or the book, just having something physical to show for our work was really nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
And so that came together. That took 2 years to make. Because we signed the book deal like pretty quickly after we got a following. Like this was in 2021, and then didn't come out till pretty much the end of last year. But that was a fun thing, and we got to incorporate some of the music side there. And we worked with a very talented writer, Jen Garby. I'm pronouncing her name right. But she's awesome. She also wrote the book for the Somebody Feed Phil guy, which went
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys expect that this is how your life was going to go? I always love asking people that with like this, your story,
We're a bit crazy and manic, and we manifest all the time. Like when I first moved in with X, because he was at USC and he was like, dude, you gotta move up here. I was like, I just gotta like save money and like give me like a couple years and we'll do it. So like we get our first apartment. Me and X would sleep in the living room and like put on like and fall asleep to like manifestation things like every night. Right?
I do that too.
Yeah, we would
it's amazing. Journaling.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
I'm so happy to see, like people need to hear that. First of all, from men, because a lot of men like don't want to they don't talk about that, but it's so real.
Yeah. It's like truly think the way to the life you want to live. Like actually.
Yeah, because you can't be like in opposition of the life you want.
Exactly. You'll never get it.
You'll repel it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not constantly thinking about it in a positive way.
Because you don't see the opportunity that will get you there,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So like it seems like you were always confident that you were going to do something.
Yeah.
Something in entertainment, I mean, music's still the central goal, and it's not, I don't feel like everything we wanted to do with social media, I've already ticked off. Like there's nothing I would be like, be like.
Yeah.
I mean, social media's not going anywhere. It's like it's just a form of media now. It's like, but the music thing is still like, okay, now our focus has been refocused back to that, and it's like still manifesting like every night. Like, put on a face mask. Oh, you caught me as like I was sleeping.
That was awesome.
I love it.
On the couch with a face mask on.
I love it.
Great.
I love it.
Because it's never stop, always trying to think, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
I don't think there'll ever be a point of like, okay, like we're happy now.
Yeah,
Right.
we're the types of guys too where we're always like, what can we do more now? Like we
Yeah.
always just like to do fun stuff and like explore new things.
It's a blessing and a curse though, because
Yeah.
like you have to remember to like be in the moment
Exactly.
and really enjoy.
Totally.
And like take a step back and realize what you've accomplished,
Right,
Because
right.
that's always like, it's tough to feel like, or not feel like you're not doing enough always,
I know.
And it's like, wait a minute, okay, we've actually built a very successful business. Music is
Yeah.
going great too. Like even it's stressful, like trying to make money off shows and just like break into the scene. It's like, hold on, like no, we're actually doing really well. Like,
Yeah.
So it's good to give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
every now and then,
Yeah.
You really have to
Yeah.
because gratitude is a huge component of manifestation,
Yeah.
as you know, and
Yes.
and then on the other side, it's always good to because when people have everything that they want,
Yeah.
that's when they become miserable. That's when they
Exactly,
turn
yeah.
to drugs, to
Yeah.
like in a bad way,
Right,
like
yeah.
not the good kind. But they start spiraling because
Yeah.
that's why a lot of child stars, they're
You're
like, they
right,
got everything they
exactly.
wanted too soon, and there's nothing.
Exactly.
Life is
Yeah.
all about yearning,
Exactly.
but then also about the
It's
gratitude.
a balance,
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
balancing act.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, it's, yeah, pretty much you both summed it up well. It's like about appreciating what you've, done, and then, but also being like, okay, what can I do next? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
being grateful, but living presently, but also like future, thinking about
Yeah.
the future and like
Yeah.
what you want.
And it can be hard in the entertainment industry because of all the bullshit that just comes with being in the
Oh,
entertainment
yeah.
industry. People put on certain personalities
Yeah.
and
Totally.
whatever. Like, I mean, you guys are so down to earth, which is
I
it's amazing.
We're just like, okay, like if we're gonna do this, like from the beginning, we were like, all right, let's just be ourselves. So we don't have to put on this mask and just
Right.
drain ourselves like emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
It's like everyone we've met, they're always like, dude, it's crazy. You guys are literally exactly how
Yeah.
you are in your videos. We're like, well,
Yeah.
like it'd be
Yeah.
fucking tiring if we
Yeah.
weren't.
Right, and
Like,
but a lot of people,
Yeah.
unfortunately, they are afraid to show their authentic selves,
Yeah.
or
no,
they're
it's,
not confident in their authentic selves.
Right.
like our friend, whenever one of our buddies, Andre, he's a musician and like he's very talented music producer and stuff, and hasn't really done much content. And when he came out, he was like, I need to get content sort of a part of being a producer DJ these days. So I was like, you guys, I want to sort of learn. And he was just like seeing him, hearing himself talk on video for the first time. It's so weird for people, and a lot of people have hang-ups of like, this is cringe, or what are my friends going to think, or like, even just hearing your own, like I get it, like, but you just got to push past that. And
You do, yeah.
And-
So many people are afraid that they have the fear of being seen.
Yeah.
And I know I think I saw you say this once, and it's like it's a common thing. Like, it's only cringy until
It's
it
not
works,
cringy, yeah,
Exactly.
and then all of a sudden, like, oh,
Exactly.
like this idea that
Exactly.
you had
Yes.
is actually
And
amazing.
that's like with everything, music, like
Yeah.
anything you make, everyone's gonna have something to say about it until they see
Right.
it's like successful, and then
And-
they're like, oh wait.
and it's
like-
because they're upset that they're not doing enough.
Exactly,
You're
yeah.
basically holding up a mirror and saying,
Truly.
I'm brave enough
Yeah.
to go after what I want.
Yeah.
Why aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. A lot of people. Yeah, that's why if anyone wants to do any creative endeavor, it's like you would never regret doing it like later
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
You're only going to regret like not pursuing shit and
Yeah.
sort of doing.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you stick to it too and keep the consistency, I can't tell you it's going to happen tomorrow or a year from now, but it's going to happen at some point.
That's all it is
Yeah.
putting in the reps.
Yeah.
And then like I know that like the issue of there's industry plants and whatever,
Yeah.
and people let that deter them, but it's like, well, that's the card they were dealt, and this is the card
Exactly.
you were dealt. You can't change it.
Exactly.
So what are you gonna do?
And
Bitch
it's
about it?
fine.
Or?
You know,
Yeah.
like, there's
No.
no malintent towards that because that's just like something you can't control.
Right.
You know?
No.
And neither
Focus on
could they
yourself.
control that, you know?
And can you blame people for
That's-
taking
that's the
advantage
thing.
of what they're
Like,
given?
If you're in a
100%.
situation, use it.
If
you
I was
know?
a trust fund baby,
Fuck yeah.
like, are you joking me?
Yeah. Work and
What am I going to say? Oh no, I don't want it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
No, exactly.
Like, no.
Yeah.
If my brother was some big DJ and he's like, I want to put you on. Would I, I want to be like, no, I want to earn it the real way. Like, let me gig for fucking drink tickets for $50. Like,
So it's all about what you do when you get there. And that comes back to like being real, being kind, not acting like you got here on your own merit. Like, there's a way to kind of just honor how you got there, and it's the way you move behind closed doors and stuff that makes all the difference.
No, we were talking about it yesterday, a little bit off track, but Ben Stiller, his dad's a famous actor, or was a famous actor.
Yeah.
But he's a Nepo baby who's like earned his place there. The guy's fucking hilarious. He's talented. Like, and if it was that easy, like, of just being like, you have some connections, and there'd be a lot more people you still, like, even if you have all that, you still got to put in the work. You still have to be somewhat talented.
You can't suck.
No.
You can't suck up there.
No.
Totally.
And especially now with social media, like, it's funny because I actually, Jen Aniston, like, did an interview where she was complaining about influencers, and she's a Nepo baby.
Yes. Yeah.
And I got really turned off by that because she was like, now it's just so easy. It's like, yeah, Jen, it is now. And she's a great actress, but it's like now anybody can make something of themselves because we all have high quality cameras.
And there's no gatekeepers. There's no need to be led in some way. So, no, I remember when she, I thought that was a big. I think what she's talking about, Addison Rae or something. But exactly. At the end of the day, it's like people. You gotta like. And you can get a lucky break. If we looked at everyone who's successful, like, I'm sure at some point they caught a lucky break, but to maintain success is like,
absolutely,
you need to consistently.
Yeah, I've talked about that a lot in the show. Like, the artists who will go viral, maybe from TikTok or had one banging track, all of a sudden you went from here to here. Now, how are you going to maintain that? The pressure is on. I personally, like, if I was an artist, I would never want that to happen to me.
I know.
Everybody thinks they want to go viral, but then I'm sure you guys feel this too. Like, every video's got to be
exactly,
perfect.
100%. So that's why I'm sort of enjoying the slow build now with X and I. Back to our roots, got to start again and got to do. Because, the Party Show project went from like 0 to like, 20 million like overnight, and it's
crazy.
Like, there's some great things that come from that, right? Like, it opens up the world to us.
Yeah.
But, to be able to sort of do a new project with shorter hair now, like completely. A lot of people don't even
Was that part of the rebrand?
No.
You're like, I didn't change anything.
No, we just needed short hair.
Yeah.
And, it's just been fun to sort of, slowly build again too. Because then another thing is like, let's just say, we got 1 million followers overnight, right? Then the feeling of, getting 1,000 followers a day, you just it becomes used to it, and it just sort of means,
Sure.
So it's sort of harder to see those spikes and feel them when you've like gotten such a dopamine rush,
Right.
It's like friggin' trying heroin and then like, I don't know, something like taking NyQuil or something. So it's like,
it's so true.
That's probably a bad example.
No, that's actually perfect.
But it's like,
it's not sustainable either way.
It's the extreme end of a drug, and it's like.
And that's what TikTok did too. It's like it gave people that opportunity
instant
to just
gratification.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks that like living like the life that you guys live and building they think there's no downsides, but there are a lot. There's a lot.
I would. The way to do it is like build slowly. If something happens and you get a lucky break and you get your 20 million, of course, take advantage of that, capitalize on it. But like ideally, you build slow and steady because that's when you're going to get the people that actually come to shows and builds a lore and they tell their friends about you.
Right.
And they got to feel like they were part of the come up. Right, when you went from 0 to 20 million followers overnight, no one feels like they got to see the journey because it was so fucking quick.
Right.
No real journey to watch.
That's so true. And the expectations are so high.
Exactly.
I always see tweets that are like, oh, so-and-so fell off. I'm like, did they? Or did you just have insane standards or something you don't even know?
No, there was someone I saw that was saying someone fell off yesterday. I was like, what the fuck?
Was it like someone? Everyone's saying that about Fred again. And it's like, dude, you guys all put him up here.
Literally.
What are you thinking?
No,
you go up there and do that.
And then,
meanwhile, the guy's just selling out stadiums nights in a row.
Right. But he fell off because someone on Twitter,
It is crazy what people and the work just fall off. Like no one that's ever been on would ever say someone's fallen off. That's just such, it's back to like it holds a mirror of like people want to be like. It didn't last forever for this person, so that's why I never bothered even trying because I'd hate to fall off. It's like, and it's like someone who's like, I don't want to work out because I don't want to look like some dude who has roid rage. It's like, dude, you're never gonna like
yeah, I know.
to get that extreme result. Like, good,
Yep.
you know, it's not gonna just happen because you tried once. You know, like
It's so true. So you guys really have to, like, I can see how, you know, playing those manifestation affirmations, like, play a big role just to keep you, like, grounded from dealing with all of that
100%,
bullshit.
100%. And it's just back to meditating and just sort of like, you know, getting out of your own thoughts sometimes and like taking, you know, whatever, whatever type of, meditation or manifestation you do, but just sort of like take a break from it all.
Meditation. Oh, wait, I think we have some pizzas.
I'm keen. Mamma mia.
We got so serious here for a second. Yeah.
That's a beautiful
Who's
looking
on
pizza.
your shirt? Oh, of course. Carmela Soprano. I really hope you guys paid attention to that conversation about their audience not converting, because if a duo with 20 million followers has challenges converting those fans into fans of their music, then you should not feel bad, okay? We are all experiencing very similar problems when it comes to social media, and it's all a learning experience. And one practical tip that you can take away from this, okay, something that I have had to learn the hard way. Take a look at your preferred social media platform of choice. For most of us, it's Instagram, right? How long have you had that Instagram, and how long have you been posting music-related content on your Instagram? Because for me, I opened my current Instagram account when I was a news reporter. And the fan base I had gathered on there were mostly people in the news markets that I was reporting in. So when I started to switch focus and posted more about my personal life and entrepreneurship content and music, I went through like I was shedding Instagram followers like my dog sheds all over my fucking floor every day, okay? And the rebuilding process has been a lengthy one. So think about when you opened your account and how long have you been posting about music on it. If you're struggling to gain a following, a music-related following, it may be because Instagram or whatever has you categorized, you know, as someone who makes different content. So is it worth opening a new account just for music? That's something to consider. Now, guys, I know it's a lot to listen to these episodes and take notes. Maybe you're driving or you're cleaning. Like, I'm always listening to podcasts when I'm cleaning. That is why I have my Patreon account, where all of the social media resources you will ever need to grow your DJ career is in one place. I have it linked in the show notes. Go check it out. Tiers start as low as $5 a month, and you're getting plenty of great content and tips at your fingertips. Okay, as always, thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you next week.